guys, James here, Next Level Collectors, coming at you with today's episode about Dark Pheonix. As you all seen, the trailer just dropped a few days ago, and we wanted to give our opinions and give you guys a background on the history of Dark Pheonix, and talk about some collectibles and some upcoming. Got today with me Joe from Toy Radiation. Hey, how's it going, Joe?
Good, James. How you doing, guys?
Hey. So, let's talk about Dark Pheonix, right? So, Dark Pheonix, she's this ultimate badass character. She's probably one of the most powerful X-Men. She was just Phoenix before she was Dark Phoenix, obviously. So I want to give you guys a little bit of background, and so we can talk about that. So the Dark Phoenix saga was released January of 1980, and fans were extremely excited. It was the creation of one cool character turned just completely, badass. So the story arc actually begins with Jean discovering her Phoenix powers in the Phoenix Saga comics. She was actually called Marvel Girl before she discovered, she had these badass powers, because actually Professor X was limiting her power set abilities because he was just scared of her, being so powerful. And then when they return from a mission in space, Jean Grey is exposed to some deadly radiation of a solar flare, so it briefly gives her the ultimate potential as a telepath and telekinetic. She becomes this being of pure thought, almost like a god, a goddess. So she repairs the fractured M-Cran crystal, but afterwards, after she repairs the crystal, she voluntarily limits her own powers for fear of getting them out of control. So a couple months later, actually it might have been a couple of years later, I'm not 100% sure on the time frame, but so they started the Dark Phoenix arc. So guys may recognize the differences between the characters, between the Phoenix being the green suit with the yellow sash. The Dark Phoenix, she has a different outfit. She's got the red and the yellow outfit. So in the arc of the Dark Phoenix, Mastermind targets her because of her newfound Phoenix powers and uses a mind tap device that was created by Emma Frost to seduce Jean into being thinking that she was So Mastermind targets her and uses a mind tap device that was created by Emma Frost to seduce Jean. With the device, he was able to project illusions into Phoenix's mind. These illusions cause her to think that she's in the 18th century, reliving an ancestor's memory. After her mental barriers begin to break, the final preparation to destroy Phoenix was to destroy Jean's barriers, is to destroy Cyclops' psychic image in her mind. Once he does that, the barriers break down, and Jean becomes overwhelmed with the Phoenix powers, and she becomes so overwhelmed that it goes all to her head, and Dark Phoenix becomes Dark Phoenix at that point. She kind of takes over, but not quite yet. She hasn't 100% grasped all the powers. They still haven't completely taken over her, but she actually, in the process of these powers hitting her, she actually discovers that Mastermind's been manipulating her the whole time, and she actually sends him into this mental kinetic mindhood of being godlike, to the point where his mind almost breaks. So then she jets off out into outer space. I don't actually know. They don't actually describe too much what what her mindset was during that time. But she takes off into outer space. Maybe it was just to clear her head. I don't know. But Dark Phoenix at this point is completely taken over. She jets off, and she realizes, thousands and thousands and millions of miles out, that her powers aren't quite as limitless as she thought they were. So what she does is she actually finds a nearby star, a dwarf star, I believe it was, and she absorbs the star, and in doing so, she creates a supernova. And unfortunately, there were planets orbiting that star that, people, or I guess you should say aliens, depended on. So she actually ended up killing billions of people in the process. due to the supernova implosion. And then a council of intergalactic soldiers decide that Pheonix needs to be put to death because they think that she is almost a greater threat than Galactus. Alright guys, let's go, let's take a quick break here and let's check in with Brian. Let's see how he's doing with his Funko hunt. He's looking for the Dark Pheonix chase today. Let's check it out.
Go. Hey guys, it's me, Brian. I'm here at Hot Topic at the Galleria Mall. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm here for the release of the Dark Pheonix pop that's supposed to be hitting stores today or tomorrow. Hopefully I'm taking my chances. They might have them in stock today.
So guys, we're back. As you can see, Brian's waiting in line. It's gonna be a while. The store doesn't open until 10. So anyways, so Pheonix actually promptly returns to Earth after she destroys this planet, and she becomes very conflicted with herself. She still has feelings for friends, but she still has this destructiveness she wants to use and take and do. So what ends up happening is the Shi'ar kidnap the X-Men and explain to them what she did, and you know, they're all awestruck, like, I can't believe that Jean Grey did this, you know. Billions of people's lives were destroyed because of her actions. And I believe Jean Grey starts to kind of come back a little bit from that after that happened, because she is realizing, like, wow, I can't believe, like, we did this, me and Pheonix did this, you know. It's crazy to think about. So, what ends up happening is they say, we need to put her to death. The Shi'ar say, we need to put her to death. And Xavier says, no, we're not okay with that. Even though she killed billions of people, she's still one of the X-Men. Let's fight to a duel to decide her fate. And, you know, even in that process, the X-Men were kind of in this mental state. They don't actually 100% talk about it in the comic book, but they almost like aren't really sure they even want to go through with this, because they're gonna put their life on the lines because she killed billions of people. So there's that, you know, obviously Cyclops loves her and thinks that there's always a chance to come back from that, and there's redemption and stuff. Eventually during the fight, those two have like a you know, almost like a goodbye scene, like, you know, I'm sorry for everything I've done, blah, 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 yada, yada, sappy bullcrap. I never really liked those two as a couple. But I think my favorite part about Jean Grey is that actually that Wolverine likes her. To be honest with you, I like Wolverine.
Me too, James, me too.
I like Wolverine, and I hate that, like, he's in love with her, and she just, like, strings him along all the time, and there's always, like, this, maybe they will, maybe she'll get away from Cyclops. And I don't know. Cyclops was always kind of I don't know. He was kind of a bossy jerkbag in my mind. But I don't know. Maybe other people feel differently. And if you do feel differently, feel free to comment down below. If you like Cyclops, tell us why. So anyways, before we finish this off, let's go back and see how Brian's doing.
Here's the store. Completely dark. You see everything. I got one person here with me. That's Joe. He's my buddy. But I'll keep you posted as we go on.
Alright, looks like Brian's still waiting in line. Again, it's going to be a while. But anyways, so returning back to our story of the X-Men here. The story actually comes to an emotional end when Jean activates an ancient Kree weapon that basically destroys her, disintegrates her. And the story actually ends with a famous line from Uatu the Watcher, commenting that, you know, Jean Grey could have lived to become a god, but it was more important to her that she die a human. So that is how the X-Men, the Dark Pheonix saga goes. You can definitely pick this up at most of your comic book stores as a graphic novel. It's literally called the Dark Pheonix Saga. You can pick this one up, and I believe they also have the Pheonix Saga if you're ever interested in, you know, picking up something to read. It's a pretty good read. It's a little, there are some features in the comic book that are a little darker, you know, kind of like they're in the 18th century, and you know, you have Storm, so Jean Grey slaps her at some point thinking she's a slave, you know, things like that. There are some darker parts in that, and you know, I guess it depends on who you are. You may take offense to that, and if you do, I'm sorry, I didn't write the story. But Joe's got some more information for us. But before we go and talk to him about that, let's check in with Brian once more.
Hey guys, it's 9 o'clock. Just doing an update. Still a bunch of people. We got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. Crowd's gathering. Hopefully we get one.
All right. So looks like Brian's almost getting there. He's at the door. So anyway, so Joe, what do you got for us today?
So I am the comic book guy, and so real quick, Advanced Comics. These came out in the early 90s. This features Punisher 2099. I think these are good books to just pick up and read if you can find them.
Yeah.
Now, as far as what you're talking about, the Dark Phoenix, Jean Grey's first appearance was in X-Men #1.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was often referred to as Marvel Girl.
Yeah, Marvel Girl. Yeah. What a weird name.
Who don't know that. And then Phoenix's first appearance was X-Men 101. And then as she became the Dark Phoenix, that would be X-Men 134.
34. Probably that.
No,
Yeah,
no.
134, 135, end of the 134 is...
135 comic book guys are really weird, like, especially, like, I want to say Alpha Flight. I believe their first appearance was 120, 121. Cameos and full appearances, people are back and forth. Like, for instance, Hulk 180, which shows a full page spread of Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Hulk 181, a lot of people are like, well, that's a full page of Wolverine or Hulk 180. Why isn't that his first appearance? Well, the comic book collectors do decide at the end of the day.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And as far as that X-Men issue of the first appearance of Dark Phoenix, I just saw a CGC copy at a 9.6 for $2,000. That one really shot up.
Wow.
Yeah, those are good books to get.
But yeah, so it's crazy. I almost want to say, depending on how this movie goes, for those of you who are collectors and you want to get some value, I think Dark Phoenix, X-Men 134, 135, they might be a good investment. Actually, that whole arc might be a good investment. Again, depending on how this movie goes, I know Marvel's planning on scrapping it, but there's no way that they're not going to revisit this at some point in the future. So I can only see that the price will go up for that comic book. Definitely worth the investment.
The whole Claremont Grimes run, which X-Men 129 which was the first appearance of Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. The first appearance of Weapon X or Alpha Flight's in there. So like there's a ton of good issues in there. That whole run was. You know what? You could pick those up pretty cheap about a year, 2 years ago. Now they're starting to catch some heat just because the comic book industry is just it caught fire and people. Some of the other books like Iron Man, 55, first appearance of Thanos, and all these other Batman Adventures #12, first appearance of Harley Quinn. All these other books are getting out of reach. So what do people do? They're going to have to go to like stuff that they. Semi-want, semi-go. X-Men, for years, like I said, it was just, they were, no one wanted them.
Yeah.
Now they do.
Yep. Yeah, I think my out-of-reach one at the moment is Hulk 181. I definitely want to get that.
Yeah, even low-grade copies. I mean, you're talking like it's unreal, dude.
Yep. I think I saw it was like somebody who had an 8.0 going for like, I don't know, 16 to 222. Like insane.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But so anyways, let's take our last look at Brian and see if he got what he's looking for.
All right.
Hey guys, about 10 o'clock. We got in. Everyone who waited for him.
Hi.
Well, you got him.
Mine's at the register still.
But we got him. Mission complete.
All right, look at that. It looks like Brian got it. What a sweet grab. Looks like there was maybe 6 or 7 of those chases at that store, and they were gone instantly. Like within 10 and 15 minutes of that store going, gone. But it looks. Yeah, looks like he had fun though. You know what? Sometimes it's all about the chase. Sometimes going with your friends definitely helps, and it's unfortunate.
No, James, it's all about the chase.
Yeah,
the thrill. Like actually getting it. After you get it, it's almost like. It's like a drug. It's like, okay, what next? Like,
yeah.
But the hunt is everything.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. And yeah, that Dark Pheonix chase, probably, I think personally, one of the coolest chases so far. I mean, there's a couple others that top the charts, but I like that the Pheonix flames, they glow in the dark as well as the Pheonix logo and some other things. Those are pretty cool chase Funko. It's going for, I think, anywhere between $85 to $100 right now.
Wow.
And
oh my god,
I think that price will drop a little bit. The odds were 1 in 6. I don't know how many of them they made, but that's actually pretty good odds if you think about it. So if you order 3, there's a good chance you'll get 1. You know what I mean? There's probably a 50% chance you'll get 1. If you order 6, there's probably a much higher chance. So they're exclusive, so they're $15 a pop. So no one's gonna go out and buy 6 of them unless they really want that chase. And yeah,
I would, James.
yeah, hey man, for sure. So I actually I bought 2 online, hoping to get the chase. It's the odds. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, is there anything else you got for us today, Joe?
Just can't wait for the next podcast with you, buddy.
Absolutely. I think so. Next week, I think we'll talk about Endgame. I'd like to talk about Endgame, how the Endgame movie turned out, and how it compares to the Infinity War comics. And we'll talk about some more collectibles that you can get as far as that series goes. Already, I know by the time I talk about it, all the Marvel Legends, all the Funkos you can buy for them, they're all going to be sold out.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, definitely. So yeah, guys, that was today's episode. Don't forget to like this video, and if you have any questions or comments, or like I said, you want to talk about Cyclops, don't forget to comment down below. And tell your friends about us, man. Tell your friends about us. Tell them to subscribe. Don't forget. That's where it's at. So again, today, guys, this was an episode of Comics Talk and Figures Collectibles. Until next week, we'll see you.